Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of MDC in the Haitian community. My name is James Pierre. Joining us now is Pigeon Valcourt, a former MDC student, life coach, better known as life coach PJ. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me here, James.
Yeah. You just have a new book coming out, Overcoming Adversity. Tell me about that book.
Basically, what inspired me to write the book was I've been through many different adversities, and as well as my friends and people that I know, they've been through adversity as well. So in the book, I cover issues such as my divorce, I cover fear, I cover loneliness, as well as some issues that people I know, such as sexual molestation, which is a big hidden issue in the community. And more people should be aware of what's going on, because a lot of the perpetrators are family members, friends, and things like this. And a lot of people have been molested and keep these things a secret. So I wanted to tell their story, and also things that I went through growing up as a Haitian American in an African American community.
What did you encounter when you grow up here as an Haitian American?
Basically, my family, we grew up in Little Haiti when I was a younger child, and then we end up migrating to the Attapata area, which was predominantly African American. And at that young age, I noticed that Haitians were bullied, they were picked on, getting beat up. So at that young age, I decided to hide who I was. So I denounced being a Haitian anytime I was asked, and it was just like a hidden secret, kind of living a double life of, no, I'm not a Haitian, no, I'm not a Haitian, just out of fear to avoid being bullied or hurt.
Were you being bullied at school? And what made you change the attitude and say, okay, well, now I have to tell them who I am, really, that I am Haitian American?
It took a while, probably I would say going into high school, because the view on Haitians started to change. You didn't have to be ashamed anymore. The newer Haitian generation, they were more prideful with Haitian Flag Day. And so everybody was kind of coming out, and my friends that found out, they accepted me. So I realized I didn't have to be ashamed anymore. So that kind of changed my view, and decided to embrace my Haitian culture, which I had suppressed for a very, very long time.
So obviously at home, you're living the Haitian culture, and outside you're living the American culture.
Yes.
How was life at home?
At home, my mom, she actually spoke English to us, so she kind of, we was kind of in American culture at home, so it wasn't really pushed, but if it was, I would suppress it. I wouldn't speak Creole, I would only speak to her in English and different things like that. So I tried to suppress it at home as well.
You talk about your mom, you didn't tell me your dad.
My dad, he wasn't really in the picture. He was in and out of the picture, so he wasn't there the majority of my life. So he would come a couple of months, then leave for a few years. So he would come in and out of my life. So my mom, you know, she raised a single mother raising.
Was that one of the adversity that you had to overcome?
Yes, definitely with regards to going into the military, because I wasn't taught how to be a man. Simple things is shaving your face and how to present yourself, and things that dads teach their son. I didn't have that, so I had to kind of learn and follow other people on what they did. So that was definitely an adversity. I had no role model for a male. My role models were my sister's boyfriends, and some were negative role models and some were positive. So as a young male growing up, if you don't have a role model, you will seek one. So it's important that young people have positive role models, especially males, because they will seek them.
We're going to talk more about some of the trainings that you are doing now, based on your life, your experience. I also want to go back to you as a child. So you are also a student at Miami-Dade College.
Yes.
Tell me about your experience here at Miami-Dade College.
Actually, it's funny. Coming here, I left the military, the Marine Corps, and I had this GI Bill, which paid the majority of the college. So I was kind of going through some financial issues, and I was like, you know what? Let me go to school just to pocket some money. So I end up enrolling and going to school, and I found out that I liked it, and it improved my writing and communication. So something that I was going for just to kind of pocket some extra money, it benefited me in a wider range of ways. And it took me actually 6 years to graduate, because I would do 2 classes a semester, working, raising a family. So I would make those sacrifices because I love coming here, and I credit Miami-Dade for everything.
You were talking about fear. Was it because of fear? You feel like I need to break that barricade. I need to be a man and join the Army?
Well, honestly, my brother, he was in the Army, so I didn't want to go to the Army. The Navy didn't appeal to me, and I was good I graduated 32 in my high school, so I was pretty smart. I was just lazy. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to fill out the applications. I didn't want to take the ACT. So the military was kind of the easy, well, so I thought was the easy route, but it turned out to be very, very tough. But my decision was just to avoid going to college, and basically the military is kind of structured. So that's why I initially went into the Marine Corps.
And how was the experience there?
Oh, wow. It was an amazing experience. Basically, you were pushed to the brink of everything. Things that you couldn't, things that you thought you weren't able to do, they made sure that you did them through motivation. And we got to see different cultures and things. And I got to leave Miami because my whole life was just Miami. So I always, at a young age, I wanted to see the world. I wanted to see how other people live. So I was fortunate enough to see different cultures and experience different things that I probably wouldn't have been able to do had I stayed here in Miami.
Yeah. So now you traveled a lot. You've seen several cultures. What do you have as perspective now about the Haitians or Haitian Americans living here in Miami? Do you think that we grow? Do you think that we made progress? Do you think that we have other issues that we need to tackle?
I would say yes, and believe it or not, the issues that we have here in Miami aren't transferred to other places. Like, it wasn't bad you were Haitian. Some people didn't even know what a Haitian was. So some of the adversities that Haitian Americans went through here, they didn't necessarily go through in other places. But definitely I see an improvement with more pride when it comes to the Haitian community. Of course, with some of the pride comes, you know, some crime, some negative aspects, but that's with any culture. When you were mistreated for a while, and now you gain your pride. So some tend to veer off in another way. But I think we have improved, but of course we have a ways to go as well.
All right. One of the things that you are focusing more on your book, when I'm talking about adversities, is your marriage.
Yes.
So before I talk about marriage,
okay.
So obviously when you started to date, you wanted to be a man, to date as a man.
Yes.
You didn't have your father.
Yes.
So who coaches you to have that maturity?
Since I didn't have that male fatherly role model, I learned from my friends. So as you know, they don't know things as well as either. So it's kind of learning on the job as far as dating and, you know, monitoring what my sisters did and how their boyfriends treated them. So it was more of a collective from the community as far as dating and figuring out how to treat women and things like that.
Absolutely. We are talking with Pigeon Valcour with his new book, Overcoming Adversity. He's a book to read. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, much more to know about him.
Be creative. Be a hero. Be the solution. Be connected. Be innovative. Be global. Be successful. Be you. Be MDC. Be Miami-Dade College.
Welcome back. Wonderful conversation with Pigeon Valcour with his new book, Overcoming Adversity. Pigeon, so now you start dating, and you mentioned that in your book as well. So you were married.
Yes.
So everything started well.
Yes, everything started well. I was married for 10 years, and it was actually, you can say, high school sweetheart. I always had a crush on her. She was my best friend. And we only knew each other as friends. So she decided to come up to visit me while I was in the service. And we kind of decided that we wanted to start a life together. So while that life was going, marriage was going, we started to veer apart. She started doing things separate with the kids, and I did things separate. Resentment started to set in, infidelity. We both played a part in the destruction of the marriage. So it came to a point where I decided that I wasn't happy anymore, and I call it we were living the lie. And many people that are in some marriages, they live that lie. So I decided to make a very, very tough decision and get a divorce because I just wasn't happy anymore.
Obviously, when there is divorce, we tend to blame one or another party. So where that started, when you start seeing changes, you say, oh, wait a minute, it's not the way it used to be.
we did a lot of things that were separate, and we knew each other as friends, but we didn't know each other as boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife. So I think that was one of the mistakes that we made. And like you said, sometimes in divorces, one person blames the other. And this, collectively, we both played a part in it. But I made a decision that it would be all about the kids. I wouldn't have a negative divorce. We actually went to the courthouse together in the same car, and we were in and out in 5 minutes. The judge was like, this was the quickest divorce that he ever had seen before.
Wow, wow. Very impressive. So now you, after the divorce, obviously was a very tough time for you.
Yes.
How you dealt with this?
It was very tough. I went through, and I actually speak about it in the book, the lonely stage. When I first got divorced, I felt that I needed to date. So I was online dating. I had no luck there. I went out on some dates with some people who weren't necessarily the best for me. So I tolerated a lot of things because of loneliness. So that loneliness kind of drove me to do things that I normally wouldn't have done. So I went through the scene of dating people who weren't the best for me. And I realized that, you know what, I have to work on me. So then I decided it's kind of like the triangle approach. I decided to get training in life coaching. I decided to take a class on writing a book. And I also decided to take classes on motivational professional speaking. And so I decided to invest in myself and focus my time on those things and let the dating come instead of me looking for it, let it find me and focus on myself during that time.
One of our friends in the Haitian community, Marlene Paris Lawson, mentioned how important it is to have a father figure in a family,
Yes.
Especially for the kids.
Yes.
You mentioned kids.
Yes.
So what role did you play to make sure that there's a smooth transition after that divorce?
I made sure whatever she wanted, she got. And it actually, a lot of the fears that I had about the divorce, as far as like, I'm not going to see my kids as much. It was actually, I see them more, and the time is spent more, like more quality time. So I have them every other weekend, but I can see them anytime I want. So I make it a point to enforce that we're still a family. Even though me and your mother aren't together, we are still a family. So I reinforce that all the time to them. And they seem to be okay with that. It's tough dealing with a divorce, but I'm still in their lives, so I'm still their father. And if she dates and have somebody, if that person's a positive figure, they'll have another father. So I'm okay with those type of things.
You obviously now, as a life coach, you're training so many people
Yes.
about your life.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, after the divorce,
Yes.
before the divorce,
Yes.
you even say that you thought you were living the American dream.
Yes.
And then you realized that the American dream is a lie.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Basically, it was a lie because I wasn't happy. It was more so living for my family and friends, kind of keeping the facade up that, okay, we're married, but in reality, I was lonely in a marriage. So it's like, how am I in a marriage where I'm lonely, she's lonely, no one wants to make that move, and the kids are there, they don't necessarily see it, but it affects them because they don't see mom and dad showing that love to each other. So that's where, it was a lie. I wasn't necessarily living the American dream.
You discover your new you said in the book. So do you think there's a new definition for, or do you have a new definition for what we call the American dream?
The American dream, I think it is a new definition, and basically the main thing is happiness. As long as it doesn't infringe upon the happiness of others, whatever you feel, some may be a blended family, it may be a mixed family, a separate family, but that American dream, as long as you're happy, your kids are happy, I think it can be the American dream. And that's what America is all about. It doesn't necessarily have to be the mom and the dad, the picket fence in the house. You would want that, but if that's not the case, it's okay.
Overcoming Adversity is your new book. You talk about dating. Are you dating now?
I am dating. I'm more focused on my career right now with the life coaching and the professional speaking. But if somebody comes into my life that can understand, what I'm trying to do and add to that, it's okay. But I am actively dating.
And ready to get married if that new step comes.
If it comes, yes.
Will it be different from
Oh,
the previous
definitely. It'll be different because I I learned a lot through my marriage on how to, communicate and different things. So it will be different.
I want to talk about several sessions that you are doing in the in several communities.
Yeah.
You know, how you coaching others to be better, not only about marriage, but also other adversities that you dealt with. So we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us, all right?
Okay.
Our conversation with Pigeon Valcourt, wonderful conversation. We get to know him better. He has his new book, Overcoming Adversity. We're going to know much more. My name is James Pierre. You're watching MDC in the Haitian community. We'll be right back.
Be creative. Be a hero. Be the solution. Be connected. Be innovative. Be global. Be successful. Be you. Be MDC. Be Miami-Dade College.
Welcome back to MDC in the Haitian community. Our guest is still Pigeon Valcourt, Haitian American, former MDC student, now here doing big things inside of the Haitian community. You did your what we call in French, avant signature of your book, Overcoming Adversity at Ledo Haiti Cultural Center.
Yes.
So how was it?
It was wonderful. I had a good turnout, and I think it was from how I grew up and how I suppressed being Haitian. I think it was just the best place to have it at. So
Inside of the Haitian community.
yes, inside the Haitian community.
Wow. And I'm glad the Haitian community responded well to your new book. So you have several books coming out as well. So obviously, let's talk about some of the important chapters in your book. You said you can overcome anything, just have faith and believe that you can. You have faith.
Yes, I have faith. And that's something that I try to push to my clients and people that I come in contact with. If you feel like life is not going the way it is and it's no fate and things like that, you control it. You can do anything. We learn these things as kids, but as we get older, life comes in and we kind of, oh, you know what, I can't do this. Oh, I'm too old. I can't. No, you can do anything you want. You just have to invest the time and the resources and you can accomplish it.
Yeah. And another one, God is love and love is God. So not only you have faith in God, and you believe that if you truly believe in God, then everything you believe as far as love will come from that principal source.
Yes, definitely. It's a chapter in the book called The Religion where I went through my struggles on faith and different things. But no matter if you're Jewish, Muslim, the one universal thing with all religions is God is love. And love is God. And as long as those religions are preaching those things, I'm okay with it. So
let's stay with love. You wrote an article talking about being in love or being comfortable.
Yes.
Right? And I really love that article. Do you feel that many are comfortable and not falling in love?
Yes, I believe, especially the way the economy is now. Some people feel that they would take things that they normally wouldn't because of financial reasons. Oh, he's paying the rent, he's paying the mortgage, or she's paying this, she's paying that. So the love is gone, but they're comfortable in the situation. It's another article I have called Water the Grass. When you're in a relationship, a marriage, you have to water that with the same things you did to get that mate. You have to do it throughout to keep that love and that spark going, because if you don't water that grass, the grass will die. So that's where, as far as, are you in love or are you comfortable? So is it truly love, or are you just comfortable with this lifestyle that you have?
You're a divorced man. Were you in love when you were married?
I definitely was in love, but we fell out of love with each other during the marriage.
So you believe that love can die if we are not doing anything to make sure that every day we water that love?
Yes, definitely. Like the grass, we didn't water the love in our marriage, so it eventually died. So I believe if you water it, it will stay there.
Great. So one other thing is sessions that you are doing, and all over the places. Yeah. Tell me about your work. What do you do as a life coach? What is it your work consists of?
Basically, as a life coach, I help people set and define goals, and I do this through motivation and encouragement. My whole thing is to make sure that my client achieves the goals that they set, and whatever goals that they may be. So when they come to me, it's a first step that they're making, and it shows that they're ready to make a change in their life. So I assist them because, believe it or not, we all have the answers inside of us. I just help the clients find the answer and, you know, put it to practice.
Wonderful. You had a different point of view about social media. On your website, you were mentioning, you know, people popping bottles on the website and putting you know, money all over the place. What is your view on that?
Basically, it was called Transforming Your Life. And a lot of times social media or even TV, it gives a false sense of reality to some people, especially the youth coming up. They see that and they think life is all about popping bottles. And because I know some of my friends and people that I know are some of those popping the bottles, but when I talk to them, life is not that glamorous, but it's something that they feel that they have to portray on social media. So that's basically what I meant when it comes to, you see the pictures of popping bottles, you know, in the clubs, driving fancy cars, and a lot of times that's not the case. So it's a facade.
Oh, another thing you mentioned that my producer sent it to me, I wanted to make sure I say that. You said sometimes we wear a mask to cover what is inside.
Yes, definitely. Basically, a lot of times we go through life, you don't know what people are going through. You may see that smile, you may see this person, and sometimes saying a kind word would help that person, because many of us, and we wear masks throughout the day, even at work, we have our professional masks, at home, we have our family masks, but a lot of times what's going on inside doesn't necessarily reflect on the face and you know, what you know that person is going on. Because I see you sitting here, I don't know what's going on with you or, you know, some of the camera people here. So throughout life, we wear masks. So it's another saying, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So if you see someone with a lot of chaos and things going on in their world, it's something going on the inside. So in order to correct what's on the outside, you got to attack what's on the inside. And that's what I do with my clients.
Wow. Your new book, Overcoming Adversity, where can we find the book? Just want to make sure I show it to our viewers so they can see it. So where exactly we can see Overcoming Adversity by Pigeon Valcourt, as you can see right now. So where can they find the book? Is it on your website?
It's on my website. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's ebook. It's all the main distributors. But they can go to my website, www.lifecoachpj.com, and they can get more information. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it, I'm out there.
Wonderful. PJ, thank you so much for being here. One last thing. Would you tell people, is it okay to date right now after being on that drama life you describe it?
Yes, it is okay to date, but the first thing you have to find out who you are and be comfortable with yourself before you can allow someone else to come in. You can't expect someone else to fill you or completely. You need to come complete and they need to come complete, and you can complement each other.
Wow, and have a wonderful communication channel is very important inside of a relationship.
Definitely, definitely.
Thank you so much, PJ. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to you as well for watching MDC in the Haitian community. Wonderful conversation. I always really encourage you to read the book, Overcoming Adversity, by Pigeon Valcourt. Wonderful work, former MDC student, of course. We are very proud of him, and having him back here on campus is a wonderful thing. My name is James Pierre. We'll see you next time.